Gam Gam, aka Gamora, just got a new Wastelanders uniform. It looks great, and it's time to take her for a spin to see how much they've improved my girl, because I really like Gamora. I remember the last time I reviewed this uniform, I was in Portugal, so I have fond memories of that, but now we're back, and she's looking kind of like a sexy stormtrooper, if you know what I mean. The build is pretty straightforward. It's kind of ass. I don't have any Odin's Blessings. I'm actually missing an Uru. The stats are mostly capped except for crit rate. You're going to be giga overcapped on crit damage. She also has self buffs, so keep that in mind. I got the 4-star artifact. I do have a 6-star version here sitting, but I'm not sure if I want to equip it, so it's just going to sit there for now. And then, yeah, we've got overdrive, stage 5 thing, and then we've got a mighty energy with the beatdown proc and the 200 percentage boost. The uniform options are pretty good. You have Dr. Octopus here, pretty bad there. Pretty bad there. Victorious is okay, and then Scarlet Witch is pretty bad. But yeah, you have two good ones, or one good one okay one. I think it's pretty bad overall, I guess. But yeah, she does get 35% increased crit damage, much like Star-Lord. You will be overcapped on her crit damage, so don't feel bad about that. Even with very little crit damage on cards, you'll probably easily hit the cap. Gamora's rotation is pretty straightforward. It's exactly the same as Star-Lord's. You're going to do 3, delay, cancel, 4, 5. Just a short delay on 5. That was probably longer than you needed to do. But I'm just showcasing it for you guys so you can see what the timing looks like. It's pretty easy. There are not many hits at the beginning, so I would say Gamora is among the most proc-friendly characters in the game. You really have to try to miss her proc, and I think I actually just missed it there. I'm supposed to do about 8 bars of damage. I only did about 5. So yeah. There you go. That's what it looks like without the awakening skill. When you have the awakening skill, you want to start with it because it has a really long animation, and you want to get through as much of the animation during the first burst as you can, because otherwise the lingering hits at the end of the 6th skill can trigger your next proc by accident. So you also don't want to be too far away from the enemy when you're queuing up your rotation, starting with 3. Because 3 and 5 have a really long range for targeting, but the 4th skill doesn't. And so what happens is you can you basically just kick off your rotation with just 5 and 3, and you kind of miss out on the 4th skill. You can see, though, she has enough burst damage that you can queue up the beatdown proc, or, you know, if you have a Mighty Destruction, the strike proc, pretty much on every rotation. Because of the way that, you know, the burst damage on her skills work. She has a couple of seconds at the end of every rotation where she can just run around and recharge it back up. So that's quite nice. We're just going to go for it here and see how much damage we can do. Okay, not much, to be honest. I think she has pretty low AoE, which is fine. But, you know, it's something to note. Something to note about the character so that you don't get into, like, a kind of sticky situation. But there you go. Under 2-minute clear at tier 3 or transcended 80 with just a couple of supports, and that's how you play Gamora. Not to beat on Kang here too much, but stage 45 of Kang is open season for the new alien characters from the Guardians of the Galaxy. Her opening rotation does 6 bars plus of damage, and from there it's just, you know, it's just spring cleaning, ripping through this guy. She's going to feel a little bit slower when you can't proc the beatdown, but she'll feel a lot stronger when you can proc the strike if you have a Mighty Destruction. So I think that's definitely an option there. She definitely gets more damage from her awakening skill, so you will notice on the times when you can pop it that the damage burst is quite nice because of those extra hits, chalking her all the way up to like plus 200 hits, something like that. Tons of hits there. But yeah, waiting for Kang to go to the middle. Unfortunate. This one's going to be a bit tight. I think Star-Lord was a little bit faster, but we can showcase her tankiness here. Oh, or just showcase the movement on the 5th skill that allows you to just completely dodge that attack. That was really cool. Yeah. Very nice. And we're just going to co-op here to try to finish him off. There we go. So a little bit slower than Star-Lord with basically the same build and the same strikers and the same supports. About 10-15 seconds slower than Star-Lord. But again, Awakening characters are going to struggle a little bit because rather than being able to pop their tier 3 or their big damage skill every other rotation, she has to wait a full 30 seconds, so she has like 2 or 3 rotations in between each one. Another stage Gamora is amazing for is Ultron 89. Now this is, you know, not one of the strongest bosses anymore, but it's a very, very high stage, and as you can see, no tier 4 required, no heavy investment. She just absolutely shreds this dude. High targeting, you know, tracking ability with that combo there, where mid dash I was still able to get to him, and we're just bursting him down. I even missed the 4th skill, but we all like he's dead to rights. It's over. We're just gonna pop a skill here to do more damage. Like, it's over. It's so over. It's crazy. You could probably do this with a PvP build. Yeah, it's 30 seconds in, and he's basically on his last, you know, quarter of his health. Is pretty nuts. We're gonna get him down to the last 8 bars here with just one more rotation, and from here it's just hoping to squeeze in if we can one more. Oh no, he went to the middle. No, and now he's iframing. This is so sad. Can we get 500 likes for Gamora? That's so sad. Okay, he's just gonna, yeah, he's just spending the whole time cutscening. She blows up this stage. That wasn't even close. However, I know a lot of you guys are wondering, how does Gamora compare to Luna, since they're both speed female heroes? So we swapped out her Mighty Energy for a Mighty Rage. If we quickly check the stats here, she's capped on everything that matters, including now crit rate and dodge. And we're going to go back and see how she performs in similar content, as well as ABX, ABL. Although she can't beat that stage 45 of Kang anymore, let's get a quick pulse check on what she can do versus a stage 39 of Jean. Yeah, this is just a casual 20 bars on the opening rotation with a Mighty Rage, followed up by another 7+ on the next rotation, leading to what is essentially, not quite, I was going to say a 30-second opening clear. We just got to wait for the dash here. Just one more rotation is fine. There we go. 33-second first half of her life. So you're on pace to clear this in about 70 seconds, give or take a few, depending on cutscenes and this sort of thing. But obviously that is very, very, very good. Now we're going to take a little bit of damage here to saturate, but yeah, as you can see, we're already down to 24 bars, and you can just play super aggressively right in her face, and Gamora tanks it. As for ABX, we're going to do a quick showcase of about a minute to a minute and a half, but the big thing that's going to hold her back compared to Luna is the loss of the White Strike, the White Fox support ability. So unfortunately, Gamora doesn't have the leadership tag, so you cannot benefit from White Fox. Gamora does have her own self buffs that are really good, and as you can see, she doesn't really get guard broken much, which is nice because the gameplay is super smooth. But yeah, on the other hand, you do you know, you do miss out on that, and especially recently, for those of you that bought White Fox's uniform, it probably can feel a bit bad that you then can't put it to use. So I totally understand from that perspective how people may be feeling. That being said, this is super easy gameplay, game style, whatever you want to call it. And we're just cruising right now to almost 8 million. We just got to squeeze in one more rotation. And just 100K short, Sag. That's all right. Let's see how the cancel is. The cancel is very quick on the burn, which is very nice. Luna, in this case, doesn't have burn, so she actually has to just burst through damage-wise with... you know, with skills through the shield, which she does very easily at tier 4. I don't know how she performs at tier 380, but we're a little bit ahead of the rage proc, so we're just going to pause for a second to let Gamora get back in sync. That's my fault. I got a little bit too aggressive with these rotations, but yeah, with the rage now, the only difference to the rotation than before is the fact that after she does that final slash, you just let the 2 play out, and we're going to squeeze in one more rotation here, hopefully. We did not. Okay, so I just missed a bunch of score by not doing that. That's crazy. Super easy to cancel, though. If I didn't have Luna, I'd be licking my chops right now. Genuinely, this is the best. I believe, and from what I've heard from ABX pros and things like that, this is the best alternative to Luna that we've seen yet. And that's saying a lot, because we've had a year and a half to get a replacement for Luna, and we have not seen one. So yeah, I wouldn't say rush to tier 4 Gamora, but I would certainly say consider it if ABX is something of a priority for you, but you're free to play or you just don't want to spend money on seasonal uniforms because you have an objection to it, which I can understand. We're not missing, guys, we're not going to get baited by that thing anymore. Nice. Let's see. Okay, make sure that the burn effect lasts long enough that you don't have to always trigger it at the beginning there. Quite nice. We're going to be able to get one more awaken skill off. Just wait for things to be back on so we can go and take advantage of the enrage at the right time. So yeah, again, I think for tier 380, these are pretty solid numbers. We're putting up 13 and change. Looking like 13.5, 13.6. We're going to squeeze in one more proc here. 13.8. That's not bad at all. And again, I can get more Pierce from the team-up collection. I can give her some Odins. Like 14 million almost with no Odins on my first run, I think is pretty solid as a Luna alternative, considering that when I play Luna with a brilliant, you know, with the new Luna uniform, I'm not sweaty enough to go and use the old one for ABX. I'm only scoring like whatever, 17, 18 million. So I think, you know, just to be a few million away from that, I know obviously for the super ABX scores, that's too high. But for the people that are just looking for like a semi-competitive score, they're trying to scoop up as many rewards as possible, I actually think that Gamora might represent better overall value. Because instead of spending money and then getting the uniform, you're able to, you know, just spend some crystals to get the uniform. So, yeah. I do think this is a really good upgrade for Gamora. Again, could it have gone further? Could she be really neck and neck with Luna? Sure. I think she's by far the closest we've seen. But then again, the closest we've seen is not good enough for some players. So it will really depend on what your expectations and your threshold for good is. But I'm really happy with this uniform. Super easy to play, fun to play, gorgeous animations. That ticks a lot of the boxes for me. Looks really good. And then, you know, also performs in a variety of content at a high level. Hit me up in the comments down below, though. Let me know what you think of Gamora Wastelanders. Thank you so much for watching. Smash the like button if you enjoyed it, or the thumbs down if you hated it. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.